Hello YouTube, I'm back. I've been away for a long time. Basically the house has been rewired, hence I'm in a different setting because I've redecorated the whole of my house. The games room's a mess. It's been reworked though, so it looks loads better. As I say, all my stuff's in storage. I've been boarding out my loft, so I've got more storage space for stock for events. And that's basically where I've been and what I've been doing. And today's video is going to be a bit different. It's not going to be games, well, not at all today anyway. It's probably going to be about a 3 or 4 parter. Basically, the weekend just gone, I've had a massive haul of retro toys, which is something I'm going to get into selling as well as my games, to fund my games really. And basically in our little WhatsApp group, everyone's been saying, oh, you need to do a video, show us everything. But I have been cleaning stuff because the guy who I bought it off, it wasn't dirty or grotty. It's just been one in his mum's loft for probably 20 years. Maybe not 20 years, maybe 15 years. But then again, there is some stuff going back as late as the 50s that won't be in this video. And then it's been in his shed for 12 years since, unfortunately, she passed away. It's basically his brother's and his toys. He wanted rid. I've bought it for a certain amount, and I'm looking to make some serious money out of it. Before I go further on, everyone's on the YouTube while I've been gone, they've been talking about people doing merch. I just wanted to point out, I've got one of these exclusive Tutti UK t-shirts. If you want one of these t-shirts, if you go along to Stu's channel, drop him a message. I think it was $14.95, this t-shirt. It's real top quality. So, you know, Stuart Charlesworth, Tutti UK, big into the merch. Really appreciate the t-shirt, mate. So, stealing from Mike, without further ado, I'll start with the Thundercats because they're the ones I clean last and they're the nearest to me. I'll start with the basic ones first. I've got a tub, ice cream tub, full of weapons that go with most of these figures. So, if you're not interested in figures and you're only here for gaming, this is where you can tune out. Let's start with the leader of the Thundercats, Lion-O. He's got his glove, his sword is in the box, but it's not the best sword. I've actually got 2 massive tubs that I meant to be showing everyone ages ago of toys in my storage, and there's a lot of weapons there. So that's Lion-O. Not in too bad a condition. There's a little bit of fading on his head there, but in general, these figures were played with like, what, 20 years ago? Maybe longer now. Probably, yeah, it probably is about 30 years ago. So you got Lion-O. Tigra, again, you know, I've seen these at the boot sales in much worse condition than this. I think nearly all the action, some are a bit stiff, but still nearly all the actions work. If I just move out of the way and look behind me, there's like stacks of stuff. You can see the Thunder Tank there, Castle Grayskull, a few pinball machines, the Millennium Falcons down there. They'll all be in future videos because I want to clean everything first. I want to be doing everything once. So clean them, put them back in the box, put them in the loft before I sell them. Another one of the Thundercats, Panthro. Now he's one of the ones whose action's quite stiff. But sometimes you need to click their arms back into the original position to get them to go. I think I've got half of his nunchucks, but again, the paint's not too bad on him, man. He's in really good condition considering his age. Oh, she's not the missus is cleaning these and I'm drying them, so she's not got through them all. So I've just noticed one that's not here. You got Chitara. Again, paintwork, still really good condition. By the way, I'm videoing on my phone because I can't be bothered to set up my camera and get everything sorted. So this is just going to be filmed. There's going to be no editing, no intro. It's just going to be uploaded, and that's the way I'm going to have to do videos until I get everything set up. And I'm having a brew. Wily Kit, I have got Wily Cat. That's why I know my missus hasn't got through them all yet, because I know I've got Wily Cat and I've got both their hoverboards. Let's say I've got to work out where. There you go. Paint job still really good on them. There is a statue of Wily Cat. I had these as well when I was a kid. I mean, a lot of these has brought back a lot of nostalgia for me. And it's also made me feel a little bit humble to how spoilt I was as a kid and how much hard work my mum and dad must have done. Because some of these have still got stickers on the boxes from when they were bought. There was a company, I don't know if it was a local thing or if they were nationwide, called Jolly Giant. I remember there was one at Merrill I used to walk in, big massive giant. I mean, you're probably talking, he was about, I'll probably over exaggerate, but he was probably about 10 to 12 feet tall, big giant fella, and you just go ho 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 and stuff like that as you walked in. And the price on some of these toys, bearing in mind you're going back to 1983, some of them, so they are over 30 years old. You know, $39.99, $49.99 for the Thunder Tank. That was a lot of money going back then. I wouldn't want to work out what the inflation difference is. Right, we're on to bad guys now, and this one comes. Now, I'm pretty sure he was a mail away as well. You could mail away for this figure when you collected the tokens on the back. But he also come with Mum Ra's tomb, which I've got boxed over there. I've got about 3 of these, and I know I've got staffs in the storage. So I'll be bundling him back in with Mum Ra, with his tomb. Mum Ra's tomb, it's his tomb, he's Mum Ra. Bundling in with there, and I'll be selling that on. There is one more goodie, but I'm going to show them the two at the end are the 2 most expensive. Vulture Man. I usually see him at the boot sale on a weekend, looking for video games. Again, this one actually wasn't in with a bundle. This was in with some toys that I'd bought the week before. He's not in as good a condition as the others. I think I paid £1 for him, but while my missus was cleaning him and I was putting him on. So basically I'm going to get a tub of Thundercats at the end, tub of He-Man, tub of Star Wars, etc, etc, once I've done them all. This one's Groon the Destroyer. Really good condition. Now he's going to be complete. I've got all his weapons in that box, which when you're reselling toys, it makes a massive difference whether they're complete or not. And if you're wondering how I know all these names, the only ones I'll probably struggle with are Star Wars, because I'm not too up on everyone in Star Wars. But it's one of my things. I'm a little bit like Rain Man when it comes to like remembering stuff from the 80s and kids' toys and cartoons and comics and that. I've got good memory. This is one I had, I bet you know, that I remember Mum and Dad when they sold all my toys originally for like £1 each, and when eBay first come around, I absolutely lost my mind because I know I had it complete. But it's the Moat Monster. It's meant to have 2 red wings, which I had. And at the time I looked on eBay in this condition back probably 8 years ago, he was going £60. He's now up to £100 in this condition. If you've got the wings, you're talking £150, maybe nearly 200. So the fact my mum and dad sold this for £1 gives me sleep at night. But then again, they're the ones who bought him for me back in the day. And this one actually shocked me. I know Bengali. If you get Bengali, it's basically the light blue and white Tiger edition. He's an expensive toy. But this one, Linkso, again, I've got him complete. You're talking a £60 to £70 toy currently on eBay, selling for that. So, you know, the fact that I've got him in this bundle, again, working, really good condition paint job, it all adds up towards the fee that I've paid for this all. Because I have paid cheap, but it's the most money I've ever spent on a bundle. So, you know, I was a little bit nervous putting out the money, but as I've gone through things, found things that I didn't realise the value had changed on, I should do well out of this. So that's the first box. These are the boxes. When I get my other 2 massive tubs out of storage, everything's going to be stored, and I may start doing the Harry Potter toy fairs. This next box, this is going to be all Star Wars. As I say, I'll just blast through the Star Wars because I'm not too sure on the names. There is some other figures in here. There's 18 Rambo, Turtle, I can see Brave Star, but I'll start with Star Wars. Now this is Lando. I'll try and get these ones in a bit closer because you really need to see that, you know, considering their age, I mean these are 70s, is it? Some of them are at 1980 and some are 77, obviously depending on which Star Wars film, whether it's A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, etc, etc. Chewbacca. Now he seems a lighter colour, so that makes me think he's one of the older ones. Just trying to see if I can see the hallmark. Oh, it's in Roman numerals, which I'm not very good at. But yeah, Chewbacca. And of course, Chewbacca needs his good mate Harrison Ford, Han Solo. As I say, I'll just name the ones I know. The rest, I'll do these 2 together. They're complete with their hats, so if I give that away, you already know it's a couple of Ewoks. There's not any Star Wars weapons in there, unfortunately, so these are all going to be as seen. This one's on one of the bikes. I'm trying to think what it's called. I've got two of these. It's as I say, because they were brothers, I think sometimes they had two of the same, so yeah, two of them. Luke Skywalker, unfortunately his arms and legs are yellowed, his body's not. And I don't know if that's the design, the hair's worn on that one. Another Luke Skywalker. And I think this is the third variant of Luke that I've got. I'll try and move my fingers out of the way. Another Lando, another Lando the same as the one I had earlier. Boba Fett, everyone likes Boba Fett. Paint's very worn, but his rocket's in good condition. You know, they're not all going to be really like this C-3PO. Unfortunately, he's the only one that's really loose. But he's got a rivet in the back, and I don't remember any of them having a rivet in the back, and none of the others do. So I don't know. What year is he? 1977. So obviously that's from the first film. I've got a couple of Princess Leia. Oh, I've got another Han Solo. He's not in the best of condition though, his paint's wore off him. I've found with some of the figures, the 18 figures are the same, the paint doesn't seem to have stuck to the torsos very well. Little Yoda, no cape unfortunately. Princess Leia, now I'm pretty sure this helmet goes with her because I used to have this one, but it seems too yellowed for me. I don't know. Doesn't look right, but I thought it did go with her because I vaguely remember having it as a kid. I inherited my Star Wars figures from my brother. I got Boba Fett's ship upstairs. Now I don't remember ever seeing this variant of Leia. I've not looked it up on eBay, I've not got round to it. But as someone who had a fair few figures and has seen figures before, I've not seen this edition of Leia. Someone can pop up in the comments and tell me that I'm wrong. Different version of Lando. And as I say, some of them I just don't know who they are. So if you know in the comments and you want to leave me a comment, his legs are quite loose. Let in the comments who they are, let me know. A couple of more troopers, are they? They're not stormtroopers, but they're variants of stormtroopers. That one's from the snow when they're in the snow, I know that. I remember having him as a kid, he's ugly muff. These two must be the most common Star Wars figures I've got, because I think I've about 3 of each. I think he normally has a loincloth, or there's a variant with a loincloth. But I've got about 3 of these each in my other box. Again, this one's lost the paint rapidly on his head and his arms are yellowed. I've been told this one can do well. Mark, Burnt Out Culture, he's in the WhatsApp group here, and he's big into his Star Wars, so he's someone whose brains I pick, which I have been doing. Pete, Old School Variety Face, is big into his He-Man Master of the Universe, which I had a lot of as a kid as well, but you know, I've not kept up with figures and what the values are, other than the obvious ones that I already knew. So I do pick people's brains, I don't know everything. And the last one, and I'm pleased he's got his cape, because I've got about 3 of these without the cape, is Darth Vader. So that's all the Star Wars one. I'll put all these back in the box at the end. I'll move on to Rambo. Now I have got all his accessories, and I think he's about a £30 figure with all his accessories when I looked him up on eBay. I think he's based more from... Did they do a cartoon? Because I remember that logo from the cartoon. Doing a cartoon on Rambo's quite odd. But yeah, I didn't have him as a kid. He's something completely new. Now the next ones, I did have all 4 of these, but I didn't have the 5th person. And there's not many of her available on the on eBay. So you got Howling Mad Murdoch here. This is what I mean, like where the paint's not stuck to the torso part. Hannibal, which I believe there's 2 variants. I think this is the more common one with a different sort of parting. His legs gone loose. I've got a few of these as well in my storage unit. I've also got all their vehicles over there. The helicopter, the van, which I might keep the van. and Face's car as well. Talking of Face, here he is. Everyone's favourite Mr. T. This is the third one of these I've got. He's quite a common figure to pick up. But this one, I knew they made this and I had never ever seen one. But I knew when I saw it in this box exactly who it was. And it's AAA. I believe her name's Amy Amanda Allen in the TV series. She's the journalist who helps out the A-Team on the run. Unfortunately, her paint has wore off the same. I don't know what they're all doing around in the crotch area, but it's all worn off there. But I seem to think her legs are loose as well, which I think is a common thing with some of the A-Team figures. But yeah, she seems a hard one to find. Just a standard Ninja Turtles 1989, I believe. Is it 89? 88, Donatello. I have got his strap. Basically, I took all the weapons and stuff off people and cleaned them because everything just needed a good clean. The next one, I took some real Googling and I've got the other parts to it as well. And I've got the figure somewhere. But we couldn't work out what this horse was from. And then when I looked it, well, I didn't look it up. My missus was obsessed with finding out who it was. It's from Dungeons and Dragons, and I've got the knight that goes inside, and I've got the other bits that go on the front here. So when he's complete, I'll feature him in another video. And the final one for this box is Brave Star. His action still works. His hat is also inside my little pot of weapons. I can do a quick flick through of the pot of weapons at the end, but his action works. And he's got his holster there, so I need to find out what guns go to him. And that second box, I would say I'm probably halfway through cleaning all the figures, maybe further than halfway through. But there is some that are going to take more cleaning than the others. And there's a lot of boxed bases, weapons and stuff like that I'm going to feature in the next part of this video. So let me just get the Star Wars figures out of the way and then we'll go on to the third box. I think this has got the most toys because it's the one my missus concentrated on first. It's alright, there's a big buzz just gone past my house. I'm not used to sitting in my front room to do videos and I'm sat on the floor, so please bear with me. Who shall I start with? I'll start with these guys. These are from a TV series called Black Star. You can see they've got like a flint motion. Now I don't know any of their names other than the main guy, which obviously is called Black Star. And I had to Google them because it bothered me because I had these as a kid. I had this actual one as a kid. And I'd picked one up the previous week, which I'll show you next. And I didn't know where they were from, I just knew they were 80s. Which is this guy, the bad guy. Unfortunately, his flint is broken, but he's known as Overlord. I did look up these. Again, each figure varies in price depending on the figure. Then there's Black Star himself. His flint does work, it just takes a bit of... There you go. It takes a bit of firing up. I mean, these have probably been played with, and the plastic that ignites the flint wears down. This guy was missing his arm, but I managed to find his arm in the box. He lights up quite well, and his arm just clicked back on. Similar sort of leg mechanism to the Masters of the Universe, to be fair. Onto these two next, because they're quite common. There's Ray Stantz and Peter Venkman. I've actually got the Proton pack complete for Peter and the Ghost, and just the Ghost to go with Ray. I've got a ton of Ghostbusters in my storage unit. This one, I recognised it when I saw it, but I didn't realise they did a figure line. It's from June. If I move it, that's D-U-N-E, not the month. And he's got a little action like that. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I can picture him, but I don't know his name, who it's meant to be like. But it does look like him. Just one random ET toy. Little ET. Let's see if we can sit him in front of the camera. And his neck extends and goes down. I know Pete's partner Debs is big into ET. That's old school variety face. So Pete, if you want it, let me know. I'll put it to one side. These guys are the baddies for with Rambo. I probably should have put them with Rambo actually. Because do you remember when Rambo used to fight ninjas? Yeah, me too. I've got their little ninja stars and weapons as well. And also that time that Rambo took on the punks. Yeah, these are like stereotypical 1980s bad guys apparently. There's also some for the 18 figures, the mini 18 figures I've got in here. I'm going to leave Masters of the Universe till last. I'll do superheroes next. What year is this? There was a 1990 release, and then these are the 84 figures. Green Lantern, obviously, with his little green ring. Why can't I say ring? Green ring. I didn't even know this one came out, but Iron Man. A little bit faded on his badge on his chest, but other than that, the paint's alright. Just checking. This is the 84 Captain America. I've got the 1990 one as well. Also the, just check. No, this is 1990 Spider-Man. Batman. I had this Joker figure as a character. I've always been a character. As a child. On the back, you plug the like little squirty thing, and he squirts water out the flower. The Boy Wonder. Bloody phone call. Someone's just rung me. It was doing me head in. I don't even know who it was as well. Some idiot from Carlisle. So obviously I don't want to talk to him. The Boy Wonder Robin. I also had this really old Superman. I mean, his face and his S have faded. But I think this one's 70s. I'm guessing this is 70s. Yeah, 79, 1979. And then there is, what is there? 1990 Superman with a more cloth cape, but still a very traditional looking Superman. 1990 Captain America. His stripes haven't faded on this one. Magneto, I didn't realise they made, what year is this? This one's 84. I didn't realise X-Men were, well obviously they must have been about in 84, but I didn't realise people were into them as much, because I just remember the 90s comic, the 90s cartoon that was on Live and Kick, was it Live and Kicking on a morning? I remember the theme tune and everything, like that, so yeah. This one also I remember from the cartoon. The Phantom from Defenders of the Earth, they've got like a swivel motion on the back. True story, I was actually going to go fancy dressed as him once, and I was ill at that fancy dress, so I never got to wear the costume. I've got Flash Gordon somewhere, but I don't think he's been cleaned. I'll do the 18 bad guys. Stereotypical bad guys. So there was that time when the A-Team took on the Native Americans. They took on, I don't know, my missus said he looks like my uncle with a patch, so, and the hillbilly guy, who my missus reckons looks like my dad, so they don't watch these videos, so I can say what I want. So I'll do these next, and then the last will be Masters of the Universe. I'll leave the Masters of the Universe till last. These are Action Force, I believe. I was never into Action Force. So I'll just show these in groups. I have got a few Action Force vehicles. I'm guessing the guys in black are the bad guys, you know, like either that or they're the SAS. A few of them look like they could be part of like IRA or something like that, or some form of terrorist group. A couple of pilots maybe. Deep sea diver and just a normal diver. I've got his boat and dinghy, I think. And this guy who looks like he was left over from Nazi Germany, really. Right, so this will be the bit that Pete's interested in. I'll go through this now. Masters of the Universe. Let's start off with He-Man. I have got his body armour. Masters of the Universe, they suffer with the really twisted legs sometimes. I might look up on YouTube how to, there is a way to replace the band, the like rubber band in there. It might be worth doing that, but then again, if I'm just going to resell them, let's make that someone else's problem. Webstar, I'm sure he had like an armour that made him climb up because he's meant to be a spider. Skeletor with like a dragon accessory that squirts water, much like this guy who I'll do next. Cobra Khan. Another Skeletor. This one's really in good condition, no fading or nothing. I need to find his body armour. I've got his weapons. Ram Man, complete with ram action. Triclops, who I've got his sword but not his armour, but I might have another Triclops somewhere. Men E-Faces, I believe he's called. And obviously he's got a robot, a lizard, and that's meant to be a normal person. Oh, I can't remember this guy's name. Someone's going to shout out in the comments and I'll go, yeah, that's him. With a nice spinning action that still works. Stratos, is he? A lot of them have got like the twisty bodies actions all still work, which is all bonus when you're selling. Mechaneck. My dad actually, because like obviously my parents used to buy all these toys for me as a kid, and my auntie, she was quite nosy because she is still alive. She is quite nosy, and she used to come to our house to talk to my mum and that. If someone walked past the house, she'd be like that. And my dad used to call her Mechaneck. So just a funny little story. Man at Arms, one of the few people who knew He-Man's real identity. I've got his weapon as well. This isn't He-Man, this is Prince Adam. Remember that, this is Prince Adam, not He-Man. You can tell because he looks completely different now. He's got clothes on and a jacket. Is he called Buzz Off? Am I making this up? I have a feeling he's called Buzz Off. And I've got a spare set of wings for him, but I've got another one of these in the unit to put this on. My favourite, Merman. He used to have a really funny voice. In fact, I used to take the piss out of my mate when he lived in this house with his ex-partner. I went round there once and they'd been cooking fish and I used to call him Merman ever because of that. Again, stupid little story of stuff that I drag nostalgia into the modern era. Beastman, complete with his armour. I've not got his whip. His whip should be the weapon. Orko, who is nearly always missing his hat, so I'm buzzing that he's got his hat. Now, I like Master of the Universe that much. I've named one of my cats, my little darling cat, the one who's my favourite, after this character, and it's Teela. She's the girl, and I named my cat after this character. And in fact, the other day when I was sorting it out, I was shouting to my, I was showing my son, oh, this is Teela, and my cat appeared, thought I was talking to her. I'll show this one. This one's not the most valuable, but I'm just happy it's complete, and this was one of my favourites as a kid. That's Battle Cat, complete with armour, the strap. Obviously you take it off, and he's the most angry Cringer you've ever seen, because Cringer was never angry, he was scared of everything. And this one's the one that's worth the most bunts, as Pete would put it, out of the ones I've got. That's Fakor, that's the Skeletor's imitation He-Man. And I've got his fucking orange sword that goes with it. So that makes him a 50-60 pound figure, which is crazy, which is more than what he's worth. Oh, they're all falling. And that's it really. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up the camera and lift it over my head to give you all a sneak preview of what's going to come. Please excuse the mess in my front room because, as I say, I'm still tidying up. Got the Thunder Tank. That Bart Simpson I bought yesterday for 50p. That family treehouse was 50p. We've got Millennium Falcon. Down here there's a suitcase. That's full of figures. This bag here is full of Centurions. Oh, Castle Grayskull. Mumra. There's a red tub down here full of dinky cars. And Visionaries, more Thundercats. So basically there's plenty more to go through in my next video. So if you're interested in this is part 1. If you're not, I won't bother watching part 2 and 3 because they won't be worth your time. So, back on the tubes. Glad to see you all again. See you on the next one.